let's look at how to add a part to inventory. But before we do that, remember, before adding parts or chemicals to inventory, you should set up your vendors, because you're going to need to pull the vendor information in to the parts screen. So if you haven't set up your vendors, please go add your vendors first. We have a video on how to do that, so watch that video if you need help in getting to set up your vendors. Okay, to set up a part in inventory, you go to inventory, and under the parts section you'll see manage parts and startup parts inventory. Now the difference between them is this: if you are entering information about a part that you bought last year or some previous year, you're going to use startup parts inventory. If you bought the part this calendar year, then you're going to choose manage parts. Let's assume that we're recording a part that we bought this year, so we're going to use manage parts. And if you have parts already out there, it'll show you a list of them. If not, you'll go right into the add mode. To save time, I'm just going to pull up a part that's already filled out rather than letting you watch me type. So let's just look at the screen and sort of walk through it. Okay, so the first significant field on the screen is part number. We're going to come back to the SKU in just a second, but the part number. The part number is used to identify the part, and your vendor will tell you what the part number is. So you just go ahead and type in the part number here. Now, the SKU is also used to identify the part. A SKU tells the difference between variations of the part. For example, if I have a part that comes both in a black and a white color, then it might have one part number but a different SKU for each of the colors. So in that case, you would enter the SKU that identifies the particular part that you're adding to inventory. Okay, next you're going to put in the name of the part. That should be simple. It should be on the packaging. Do you always want to charge for this part when it's used? Yes or no? The manufacturer's name, just simply type it in. This is where you enter the vendor information. All you do is click the list icon and select the vendor from that list. And it'll fill in the vendor's ID and the vendor's name. Next, you put in the date in which you're putting this item in inventory. The next thing is how many of that item have you bought. Then you can enter the total cost of the full number that you bought, or if you prefer, you can put on the cost of each of those parts. If you put the cost for each of those parts, the system will calculate the total cost for you. If you put the total cost, the system will calculate what each part costs. So you don't have to put both figures in just one. The next row down describes how you will charge for that part. So you have your choice. You can put in a number that represents a markup. In other words, what percentage do I want to mark up this part? Or you can enter the sale price for all the parts that you're entering. So if you're entering 10 parts, and let's say each one costs $10, so the total batch costs $100, and you want to charge, let's say, a 100% markup, so that means you want to charge $20 for each, then you would enter a sale price of $200. If you prefer, you can enter a sale price for each part. So in other words, whatever price you put in here as the sale price, the system is going to use that to calculate what the total batch of the parts that you're entering cost. It's your choice. Either way, the system will calculate what it needs to. Okay, the next thing down is how do you want to handle reordering parts? Now, the reorder level means if I buy 5 parts and I always want to make sure I have 2 of them on hand, then my reorder level is going to be 2, because it says when I get down to the number 2, let me know that I need to reorder. The reorder quantity basically says when I get notified that I need to reorder parts, how many of this part should I reorder? So here we're saying whenever I tell you to reorder 2 of them. The next thing is, where is this part going to be located? Is it going to be located on a truck, or is it going to be located in a general stock room? That's your choice. You can keep inventory by truck, or you can keep inventory in a stock room that everybody pulls from. Keeping inventory by truck is a little trickier because you have to keep track of the inventory that's on each truck, and it takes a little more effort to do that. Okay, where is the item currently physically located? These are just general information. For example, we give you cabinets, shelves, and bins, and you can fill it in or not fill it in. Those are all optional. The next one down is, do you want to allow the customer to receive a discount on this part? This is just, it doesn't mean it's going to give a discount. What it's saying is, do you ever want to offer a customer a discount on this part? Yes or no? If there's a possibility, say yes. Do you want to allow a customer a markup on this part? In other words, is it possible now or in the future that you will want to mark up this part for certain customers and not others? If that's the case, you say yes. If not, say no. Okay, in here you can put general information about the part, and then you click the submit button and the part will be added to inventory. And now you can see the list. The part should show up in the list, and that's how you add a part to inventory.